friends, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to our life. We're here spending the remaining of the summer with our entire family and inviting our friends. With a beaming smile, you gave him a thumbs up, and the two of them must have also approved, as Cove quickly got his phone out and started making his calls. At that, you turned your attention to helping with the picnic setup. Unexpectedly, your phone started ringing. You dug it out, curious to see the caller ID, feeling your heart jump with excitement. You answered. Oh my god, no. It was Derek. Hey, this is a surprise. I thought you disappeared. Nope, I have not. And I hope it's at least a good surprise. A very good one. You chuckled at that and your smile widened. So what's up? My heart! Oh my god! We just have to break his heart right now. The voice that came through was much deeper than it had been when you first met, but it still had the exact same amount of enthusiasm of a kid. Have you been enjoying these crazy summer days? Yeah, I have. It's been amazing. There has been ups and downs. It's been memorable to say the least. I would have enjoyed them more if you'd been there. Yo, well, we can't just already flirt here. Yeah, I have. Awesome, you have to catch me up on that. But what about you? How's your summer been? You're beyond curious to know what Derek had been up to since the last time you spoke. He chuckled, noticing your invested tone. Honestly, I've just been slammed with stuff lately. College applications and scholarship inquiries. What else is new? I bet you're even more toned than the last time I saw you, joked. We can't be flirting! We have a boyfriend! Your only real struggle will be choosing which place to go. They'll all be desperate to have you. I wish you nothing but luck. I think they'll all be desperate to have you. I feel like, didn't Derek go into like football or something? Soccer? Totally. His chuckle turned into a sigh. You could hear a small smile when he spoke. I really hope so anyway. That would be amazing. What about your family? Are your brothers being good? My little brothers are little punks, but I guess they're doing alright. We both laughed at that. It was easy to imagine the grin on his face. Mom and Dad are fine. That's great. My moms are too. Turning your attention back to your surroundings, you smiled warmly at your family buzzing around. Towels were laid out and chairs and umbrellas were being set up. Actually, I'm out with my moms right now. Liz and Lee are here visiting too. Oh, that's fun, but if that's the deal, I'll let you get back to it. Are you sure? I don't mind. Uh-huh, I'm sure. I'm not about to lose your number. Thank God we didn't have to tell him. Okay, bye. Bye, Michiko. Have a heck of a day. Oh, Derek. Oh, thank God we didn't have to see him. Hanging up the conversation left you energized and in good spirits. It was exactly what you need to make this day even better. You hurried over to your mom's and helped put the rest of the food out. In moments, you noticed Cove at your side. So, what's the verdict of those invitations? They're gonna come. Yes. Excited, you raised your free hand for a high five. Cove laughed and slapped your hand. They'll meet us here later today. Shouldn't be too long. I can't wait. We're not gonna tell him that Derek called us? Once the setup was done, everyone got comfortable and dug into the food. You couldn't remember the last time breakfast tasted this good, but you attributed it to the gorgeous ocean view and soothing sea breeze. The conversation shifted to what you all would do next.
In that case,
We could do a few rounds of volleyball. There's plenty of us now.
is that all right?
Could I play? Oh, Miranda! Of course! Miranda brightened, delighted with this idea. Ma looked around to see if there were any other takers. Nah, I don't feel like playing. I'd have to change, but it'd be fun to watch. I could be the ref. My eyes won't miss a thing. I'm in. Excellent. We almost have enough for two-on-two teams. Volleyball's a good idea, but there should probably be something happening for those who aren't a fan. Oh, I have some crafting supplies we could use to make jewelry. We could even use stuff we find around the beach to insinuate them.
Really?
I want to make a necklace. Oh, Terry, really? I thought Terry was gonna be all for volleyball. I'd be interested in trying my hand at that too. I'll play volleyball, the heck. I've never played before, but you know, I've been watching Haikyuu. You looked at Mom ready to jump into competitive mode. She looked thrilled to have you on board. Now that plans were settled, the group temporarily split into two.
Anyway.
Alright, sports stars, you're gonna have to pick partners and then it's game on. Mr. Holden let the rest of you deliberate and turn his attention to drawing a makeshift court in the sand.
Well,
She walked over to you and hooked her arm around yours. You laughed. I want to be on Michiko's team. You paired up with Ma. Would it be okay if I was on Cove's team? No. Let's be on Team Ma, alright? So then we can beat Cove's ass because we're competitive. Alright, it'll be Ma and me. You wanted to have fun with your Ma. Cove put on his game face, not intending to go easy on you now that you were on the opposite sides. Cove then turned to Miranda. He looked determined. Ready to win?
Yeah.
We're gonna win. When Mr. Holden finished drawing the court, he went and fetched a volleyball from various other supplies you all brought here. Sounds like we have our teams. Alright, all set, right?
Yes.
Good. Now get to your sides. The four of you situated yourselves on one side or the other of the court with your partner. Mr. Holden tossed the ball to
Do
Ma.
you mind?
Since this was all Nolani's idea, I think it's fair she gets to serve first. Thank you, Cliff.
Yeah.
Show him who's boss. Go, Michiko, make them eat sand. Liz is our cheerleader. You kicked a small heap of sand out of your way on the simple court, making her laugh. You turned back towards Ma. Don't hold back. You're going down. Good luck, Ma. You got serious. You're going down. For emphasis, you even pointed at the others. Miranda teasingly stuck her tongue out at you. With that, Ma got into position and delivered a practice first serve. The game began. In the battle over the volleyball, both teams scored points. There wasn't a set amount of reach to end things, so it went back and forth for as long as everyone wanted to play. And the game went on for quite a while as everyone got into it, especially with the cheers and added commentary. Liz and Mr. Holden made the whole game better with their humor and wit. From a distance, a jury-making group would also cheer when they heard shouts coming out of the court. On top of that, they would hold each a newly made piece in the air, and the players would take a breather to applaud the creation. It wasn't until all of you were exhausted from the running, spiking, and diving that a truce was called. You enjoyed every moment of it. The afternoon continued to drift by, but the fun was still going strong. Occasionally, someone would head back to the house to use the bathroom, rest away from the sun a while, or to retrieve something that they needed, but they always came back. The beach was never empty, and there was always a new conversation to take part in or another game to join. At one point, Mr. Holden even broke out his packs of cards. He roped the whole group into the rounds of good old goldfish. There was only one thing that could bring this day to an end, and that was for the day itself to end. Before anyone realized it, the sun began to set over the sea. As that happened, you were taking a break sitting on a towel with your legs stretched out past it and your feet buried in the warm sand. You were reading a book. Shortly, you looked up to see your mom's approaching. They stopped in front of you and smiled. Hey there, kiddo.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Today's been amazing. Oh, is this our talk with our moms? They both sat down, squishing you between them. Ma leaned her head against yours, and Mom started rubbing your back soothingly. Nothing more was said at first, but Ma sighed contentedly. Mom looked at you wistfully. We were both really really proud of you, Chico.
True.
You grew out to be more than we ever could have hoped. It's only thanks to you two your eyes started to tear up. I'm not sure I deserve any of those glowing phrases. It's only thanks to you two. Mom wrapped an arm around your middle and squeezed you tightly in a side hug. Mom continued lightly scratching your back. That means a lot, but I still think you're selling yourself short. You've always been a lovely person, and I'm so thrilled to know you. Sounds like they're giving me away. Your voice faltered, and you honestly couldn't imagine your life any other way. Mom lightly brushed some of her hair back and left a small kiss there. My hair or her hair? Your hair. Sorry. I'm so happy I got to have both of you as my moms. After that, all three of you were sitting there getting all sentimental. I don't know how we got so lucky with you and Liz. Ma reached out in front of you for Mom's hand. She gave it to her, and Ma squeezed it.
Of course.
Michiko has a point. We must have done something, right? You stay there quietly and contentedly, watching the sunset with your parents for a while, until Mr. Holden called out to you. He was still walking in your direction. We were talking and think we're gonna take a walk down the shore. Any of you want to come? Automatically, you looked to your moms for what they were thinking. Mom glanced from you to Ma and smiled. That sounds good to me.
That's fantastic.
That'd be very nice. My legs need some stretching. That's a yes across the board. Mr. Holden threw out a thumbs up and began heading back to the way he came in a light jog. Hey, don't leave us in the dust. Cliff kept going forward but flipped around, walking backwards across the sand so he could space you again.
No worries.
We wouldn't leave without you. Alright, we'll catch up. Ready to go? Mm-hmm. Both of your moms held a hand out to you. Chuckling, you gave them each one, and you all strode back to the rest of the group. What happened to my book? It just fell on the ground. When Liz was in reach, Ma used her free hand to pull her into it too. Liz shook her head, but her mouth quirked into a smirk and she didn't resist. Together as a family, you followed behind the others hand in hand. Your feet squished into the wet sand as the waves rolled over them, and you didn't have a single care in the world as more and more stars began to dot the sky. Once the sun had long been out of sight, it was finally time to pack up. The closing of the day and the ever-approaching end of summer seemed to intertwine. It caused a quiet, reflective mood to blanket over the group. On the beach, Terry and Miranda took turns compressing Cove into a hug before moving on to do the same to you. You chuckled, still overjoyed that you got to see them today. I'm sorry we have to go already. My parents are here. That's okay. But still, I wish we could help clear this all up. Don't worry about it. Just thanks for coming out today. It was cool having everyone here. Oh yeah, I'm super glad we came. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. Nodding, you turned your attention to Terry. She wore a large grin on her face and held a hand out for a low five. You obliged. Take care of yourselves, buddies. After that, they walked away, waving to you and Cove as they went down the shore. Cove waved quietly back with a small smile on his face. You waved too. Bye. Have a safe trip back. I'm happy I got to see them. I think I will say have a safe trip back. We will. Bye. Taking you by surprise, Terry jumped and twisted around. She kept up with Miranda by walking backwards. She kept the mood of your farewell light by shooting finger guns at you and Cove. Miranda bumped her with a hip. It left everyone with a laugh just before they disappeared down the bend. Hey, Chico?
Come on.
Hey, Cove, could you come here? Both of your parents were motioning for you. The two of you went to them. Tons of things ended up at the beach over the course of the day, so there was still so much to pack up and the parents needed help. With a nod, you got to it, stuffing various things into bags and bundling them up in towels. Once things were ready to go, everyone filled their arms with as much as they could carry. Absolutely no one wanted this to be a back and forth kind of task. The walk back home ended up being mostly quiet. Each person seemed to be feeling the effects of the day. A cool breeze carried you across the sand and onto the road. There was a sigh of relief from what felt like the group as a whole when they arrived back to the neighborhood. Well, hello everyone. You glanced at the... Oh god, who is this? Is it Baxter? Is it Derek? You glanced to the side and spotted a very recognizable face walking down the road. Oh, okay. It's Baxter, it's fine. Oh, hi Baxter.
How are you?
Do you need help with that? It's alright, this is our mess to clean up.
Well,
If you're sure then, I was simply heading home after getting some fresh air. The season's almost over after all. Yeah. Baxter was only a tourist. He wouldn't be in town much longer. This might even be the last time you happen to cross paths with him. You knew that, so did he. If you have a minute, I'd like to say it was a pleasure getting to know you both this summer. His head tilted towards you and he smiled warmly. Baxter offered you his hand. You used your freer hand to shake his. You waved goodbye. Instead, you patted his shoulder. You side-hugged him. You raised your hand for a high five. Well, I did welcome him with a hug, so let me end it with a hug. Because we're not going to see him again, so don't get jelly, Cove, okay? You hugged Terry, okay? It took a moment, but after shuffling what you were carrying, you were able to free one of your hands, enough to pull Baxter into a quick hug. He joined laughed and looked at you fondly when you let go. I think we did end up as good friends. I really enjoyed meeting you. Good luck on your next semester at school. You didn't say anything. Good luck on your next semester at school. Why, thank you, and good luck with your plans this fall. Thanks. Baxter turned to shake Cove's hand this time. He was a little incredulous for a moment, but then Cove eventually shifted what he was carrying and took Baxter's hand. It wasn't long, but it was a solid handshake. Baxter was clearly pleased. I wish we had more time together, but it was still a nice ride while it lasted. Would happily do it all over again. Bye, Baxter. Yeah, bye. Baxter nodded and walked a few steps towards his condo. He then stopped and waved.
goodbye.
We didn't really see him that much. I'm assuming we might see him more in the DLCs, I hope. Baxter sauntered away completely and disappeared inside the condo to return to his own things, his time with you and your family and friends ending. You paused for a moment staring at where he went. But afterwards you looked back over at the rest of the group. Lee and Liz were just going inside your house. You couldn't spot Kyra or Mr. Holden anywhere, but the door to their house was wide open. Mom approached you with an amused look on her face. Seems like you're holding up some Holden things. Surprised, you glanced down and took a quick inventory of what you were holding. Mom was right. Some of it belonged to the neighbors. Would you mind dropping it off now? Looking down again at everything you were carrying, you sighed. A teasing grin played at your lips. The Holdens is a long walk from here. Cove snorted and laughed next to you, making your grin widen. Mom chuckled and shook her head. You can hack it. And then you'll get to experience the joy of a job well done. You laughed happily and nodded. Mom smiled fondly. Cove took a few steps towards his house and stopped waiting for you. Good night, Cove. I'll see you inside, Michiko. Night. You caught up to Cove and together you went over to his house. Walking in the front door, you saw Kyra and Mr. Holden busily unpacking already. Things were scattered on counters and they were moving around each other, putting the items away. They both lifted their heads when Cove closed the front door. Hey! It's nice seeing you again already, Michiko. Her teasing tone brought a light smile to your face. You hefted the stuff in your arms a little closer. I ended up with things of yours from the beach. Oh, thanks for getting that to us. You can put it, here on that coffee table. Mr. Holden pointed at the surface he was referring to, and you immediately left what didn't belong to your family there. Cole put his own things down on the floor just at his feet, wading through everything strewn about to reach his parents. Putting your family's stuff on the ground for a moment, you dusted your hands off and straightened up. You needed a second of rest and a minute to resituate it all. You went over to where the others were too. Kyra opened her arms wide, wanting to hug you. You accepted. Without any hesitation, you went to Kyra and let her pull you into a hug. You squeezed her back just as tight. Her hug was filled with affection, and you hoped that she could feel how much you cared about her too. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was a blast. You're welcome. Today was amazing. Kyra eventually released you, but patted the tops of your shoulders as a final gesture. Every time I've gotten to come by, it's been an absolute joy. Things really couldn't have worked out better. Mr. Holden took a step closer to you. Kyra moved aside to let him say goodbye too. He grinned. Thanks for always being such a friendly neighbor, and not just right now, but for as long as I've known you. I didn't always make it easy, but you and your family are good people. I really, truly appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Thanks again, Michiko. So much. And that Mr. Holden reached over and gave you a soft pat on the top of your head. Well, I want a hug! I'm really glad that you're my neighbor. You're good people too. You hugged him. You burst forward to Mr. Holden, wrapped your arms around him. Surprised he went rigid immediately. But several moments later, he relaxed and began to lightly pat your back before shifting into a full hug. You squeezed him tighter. Thanks for moving in. Yeah, thanks for moving in, because now I have my husband. As you let go, he sniffled, but when he met your gaze once more, his mouth pulled into a wide, happy grin. Mr. Holden was staring at you, but his gaze seemed far away. Maybe he was looking back at who you used to be, the 8-year-old he had asked to be his son's new friend.
See you.
Bye, Michiko. He smiled softly. Then Cove took a step forward. He gestured to his pile of things he had carried into the house.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about all that. I'll put some stuff away in a few minutes. Right, I need to go do the same with my family. I figured. Cove walked you to the door and held it open. Taking one last check around to make sure you had all your things to bring home, you went into the road. He leaned his body against the doorframe, not following you out. So this is it, huh? Actually, that's not what I mean. His expression twisted and he shook his head a bit, like he was trying to banish the pensive thoughts.
Bye.
I'll just say bye. Yeah, bye. It won't be long before you'll see me again. You offered him a small wave goodbye with one of your hands. Cove reached forward and gently cupped your face with one hand. His thumb trailed across your cheek for several heartbeats. Mesmerized by his blue eyes, you stepped forward, delighted to oblige the request he was silently asking. You're so cute. He met you halfway as you smiled into the kiss. It was soft with longing and your chest ached knowing that there couldn't be anything more than this, at least for now. One of his hands grabbed onto the door handle and firmly held it. He was stopping himself from coming along with you. Aww. As you walked over to your own front door, you stopped. Turning around, you spotted Cove right where you left him. You laughed quietly to yourself. For a small pause, you both stared at each other from across the street. You ran back to hug him goodbye. You put the remaining stuff from the beach down on the step and almost tripped both of you across the road. The next thing you knew, you were diving to Cove's arms, wrapping your arms around his middle. The force of it all knocked you both loudly into the doorway. But neither of you cared. You both held onto each other. You both held each other tightly, and you could feel Cove resting his cheek on the top of your head. Night, Michiko. He smelled like he smelled like salt water and sunscreen and like home. It was well until either of you thought to separate. Slowly you made the trek home and collected what you left and stepped into your arms again. Things couldn't be dragged out any longer. After one more shared smile, you opened the door and went inside, shutting it behind you. A few steps in, you saw your family gathering in the living room. They were still busy unpacking and cleaning. You added things you brought to the pile on the kitchen counter. Mom stood up, rubbing her eyes a bit. She yawned loudly. I'm bushed. How about we finish the rest of the chores tomorrow? Yes, honestly, it's too late for this. Please and thank you. Mom put her hands on her hips and turned to assess the room. Mom was not one who liked to leave a mess, but she sighed. I suppose we can make an exception to the usual rule. It has been a really long day. Oh, look at Liz. She's so pretty. Liz grinned contentedly. Lee wasted no time skipping over to you and hooked you into a side hug. Good night. I hope you have the loveliest of dreams of you-know-who. Lee ended the sentence with a wink and a hearty laugh. She let you go. I hope you have good dreams too. You hugged her back, you shook her head, you blushed, you laughed. No, I'll hug her back. You pulled her close into a bear hug. Lee giggled until you released her. I hope you sleep well too. Well, I totally will. The moment my head hits the pillow, I'll be out. Here's to us, Michiko. Tonight, tomorrow, and forever. You smirked at that? Yeah, family forever. Thanks, Lee. You're really lucky. Family forever. Lee leaned in close to whisper in your ear. I didn't fail to catch the teasing look on her face. Exactly. There's no escape. That got a laugh out of you. You lightly pushed her shoulder. Lee stretched her arms high over her head. She yawned loudly and looked at you with tired eyes. I think that's my cue to head to bed. Fine. I think so too. Have fun sharing the room, please. She laughed at that and Lee shuffled off towards the guest room. Before you had a chance to do anything else, you could feel the top of your head being tapped. You spun around to see Liz smirking. Nighty-night and heading to bed too. It's been a long day and I have a lot to prepare for tomorrow. Exhaling, you automatically started fixing the back of your hair. When Liz didn't immediately walk away, you smiled softly at her. Everything okay? Her gaze moved away and you knew she had more to say. You waited patiently for Liz to compose her thoughts. Jess, it's been a good summer. It was nice to come back home. You nodded and Liz gave you a teasing nudge as she went by. Amused, you turned and watched her go. Love you, baby sister. I love you too. Liz stopped walking steady for a moment. She smiled softly at you. Get some sleep soon. Morning will be here faster than you know it. I don't want to. I will. But anyway, this is where we're gonna end the episode. I was gonna keep going, but I feel like there's even more content after this, which is really bizarre. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.